Hi guys, hold on for a second. Before we proceed to the video, I have something very important to tell you. Professor John Vikofas has published his new book in collaboration with Little French Media, and the title of the book is Neoliberalism, Inequality, and Authoritarianism. This book details how neoliberalism impacts the geopolitical economy in the 21st century. You can buy it from Amazon, and the link is in the description. Thank you. Now let's proceed to the video.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this very brief overview about the gig economy. The gig economy is invariably associated with the neoliberal political economy of the last 45 years. The gig economy simply means the institutionalization of seasonal and part time work and a model of labor management relations which essentially has the worker operate as an independent contractor. One of the examples that I can give people to that they can easily associate with is an Uber driver, a taxi driver, who the company wants that person to imagine that she or he are independent contractors. They're like their own boss, when in fact they're nothing but part-time workers, um, and that's all they are, or just workers in who may be working a lot longer hours than what part-time suggests. The gig economy is essentially a scheme under the neoliberal model to reduce the worker into a, an independent operator who does not have two essential things that a worker who works, let's say, for an auto company under the protection of a trade union and labor laws. That individual, that independent contractor, working, let's say, as a taxi driver, it doesn't have to be Uber, any company, um, is responsible for their own social security, for their own health care, for their own everything. They do not have they do not have the protection of labor laws. They do not have the safety net of collective bargaining that a trade union worker would have. So the labor management relationship of a gig worker, it deviates far afield from the traditional labor management relationship that exists, that and for which, by the way, trade unions fought very hard from the 19th century until the 20th century to achieve, only to lose in the name of something that was supposed to make all workers feel like employers, as though that were possible, by the way. In any event, the video that I did on the gig economy, which is a two-part video, is actually intended to provide a historical overview and also details on the various aspects of how the gig economy operates on a world scale, by the way. One of the reasons, let me give you a few examples. One of the reasons that um, we have had a rise in inequality, social inequality, in the last 45 years is because of the protections that labor lost, and especially as companies realize that they can raise profits, lower their cost by hiring gig workers rather than full time, fully protected workers under the law and under trade union protection. Um, And this has been something that a number of countries from Bangladesh to the United States have been pursuing. So it's a global phenomenon. And for the reason that the profit maximization, maximizing profit, is what this is all about. Um, the impact of this has been that workers have become disillusioned on a world scale and have rightly blamed politicians who have supported policies that have led to this situation under deceptive advertising that supposedly a gig worker is somehow comparable to an employer, when in fact their earnings are usually far less than they would be to a unionized worker, and the protection is not there. The two-part video session on the gig economy deals with the various nuances of neoliberalism in various countries on a world scale, because the neoliberal model is a global model, and globalization accounts for the gig economy. Companies do not want, under neoliberalism, of course, the business sector declared war on workers, especially on trade unions, by the way. And of course, they favor the gig economy, and politicians who are financed, whose campaigns are financed by businesses and wealthy individuals, go along with introducing policies that make it easier to switch into a gig economy. A couple of other points I want to mention before we wrap this up, and that is technology has made the gig economy much easier. In fact, artificial intelligence even more so, as jobs are eliminated and the gig worker becomes sort of a necessity, and having nowhere else to turn, the gig worker accepts the gig. The word gig, by the way, is an early 20th century term used by jazz musicians back, I think, in the 1920s, 1910s or 1920s. A gig is a job that musicians get for the night or for the week or for a few weeks. It's supposed to sound glamorous, but it's not. It just means exploitative working class conditions. I invite you to take a look at these videos on the gig economy, write comments, and I also would like to invite you to join this YouTube channel, which is educational, by the way, that my very good friend Asad Alim manages. I thank you for watching.